Happy Halloween, guys. It's officially spooky season, and for some of you, it's probably already been spooky season. I'm talking to you, Carol. I bet you have some pumpkins laying around your house as fall decorations, and instead of throwing them away to the landfill, let's make some pumpkin puree. And once you learn how to make pumpkin puree from a fresh whole pumpkin, you will never go back to store-bought because the taste is superior. So let me show you exactly how to make this. Every year in the United States, 1.3 billion pumpkins are wasted. And I figured this year, instead of contributing to that landfill waste, let's try to make our own pumpkin puree from our leftover fall decorations. This is really easy to do, and you're giving your pumpkins a new life instead of just throwing them away. So if you notice that this pumpkin that I'm showing here in the video is different from the pumpkin in the thumbnail, then you'd be correct. It's actually a really sad story. Every year I grow a variety of pumpkin called Seminole pumpkin in my garden, and this year I did as well. I had 5 pumpkins starting to get orange, super ready to be picked, and they were all eaten. So here in southern Arizona, we have this animal called a javelina, and they're pretty much like a wild pig almost. And it ended up getting through my chain link fence and ate pretty much my entire garden, which was super devastating. And even though this was super devastating to me at the time, the story doesn't end there because life just hit me with another devastation. So when I originally filmed this video, I was using one of my Seminole pumpkins that I had grown from last year. And this variety is a really good storage crop, so it usually can keep up to about 12 months, if not 9 months or so, depending on if you store it correctly. I was already pretty upset that I only had one Seminole pumpkin left and that I didn't have any fresh from this year, but to my surprise, that one last Seminole pumpkin that I had left and filmed a video for this video, all that footage got deleted. It was a super bad mistake on my part, but at the end of the day, we can only control what we can. So just like the javelina experience that I had with them taking pretty much my entire garden, I can either sit and be upset about it for days, or I can replant a new fall garden. And in the instance of me losing all that footage of making a puree out of the Seminole pumpkin, I can sit there and be upset, or I can get a new pumpkin and film a new video and voiceover. So if you have an experience in your life that has been super upsetting to you, instead of sitting and wallowing about it, let's pivot and decide on a different path to make that thing happen anyways. As Dory says in Finding Nemo, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. So let's all just keep swimming and do the best that we can that's in our control. And you want to know what's in your control? Turning that fall pumpkin decor that you have sitting on your table into pumpkin puree this year. I will have the full recipe and directions of how to make a puree in the description, so go take a look at that and go get that pumpkin cooked up and pureed. And also, just a little tidbit, you don't just have to do this with pumpkins. You can use this for butternut squash, acorn squash, any kind of winter squash. And a lot of times, that pumpkin puree in the store is like a butternut squash and not an actual pumpkin. So if you've got a butternut squash or an acorn squash lying around, turn that thing into some puree and make yourself a pumpkin pie, which is actually a butternut pie, but don't tell anybody. I hope you try out this recipe and save your pumpkin from the landfill this year. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.